the way you feel about connecting is only ever going to be down to two things: the words you say to yourself and the pictures you make in your head. And when you make pictures of, oh, I might mess up, I might look wrong, I might come across as stupid, when the words are, what if I don't know what to say? I haven't been out for a year. I don't have anything to talk about. You see, you're not just making a picture, you are making a blueprint that your mind and body move towards. So what is social anxiety? Well, it's rather like performance anxiety. Performance anxiety is I'm anxious about being judged. And most of us have some anxiety about being judged. So most of us say, hey, I can talk to my friend on the phone, but I couldn't go up to a stranger and speak to them. I can discuss politics with my family, but I could never stand on a soapbox and do that. I can sing in the bath, but I would never sing in public. I can dance in front of the mirror. I can't dance at an event. Why is that? Well, I'm scared of being judged. So the fear of social anxiety is the fear of when I go out into society, they might judge me. They might, but they actually might not. You know, I taught aerobics and yoga and all kinds of exercise classes for a long time. People go, I'm so worried what I look like. I go, look, people are so busy trying to do the tree, trying to balance. They're not looking at you. They're way too busy doing their own thing. If you are dancing on a dance floor, no one's looking at you. They're too busy doing their own thing. So you have to get over this belief that people are looking at you, judging you, commenting on you. Most people really aren't. And the ones that are must have something lacking in their own life, because here is the truth. The people that matter to you don't care if you slip up. And the people that really care about that stuff, they don't matter. So you need to take a deep breath and go, hey, I'm going out. I'm going to a party. I'm going to dinner. I'm going on a date. Could anyone judge me? Possibly. Does that matter? It doesn't matter if you pronounce a word wrong, do something wrong. People who love you do not expect you to be perfect. In fact, here's the truth that we all should know. Perfect people, who don't really exist, by the way, but people who appear perfect are almost always the unhappiest, and amazingly, they are always the loneliest too, because they are so worried about what they look like. I've had so many clients say, you know, my girlfriend was gorgeous, but all throughout sex, she was so concerned about what she looked like. Was her face screwed up? Was she perspiring? And now I'm with someone ordinary, and it's so much nicer, a real warm person who can let go, get in the mud and not be worried about, oh, don't get my hair wet. One of my clients, his wife was an actress, said, it was so unfortunate. She wouldn't swim. She wouldn't do anything that would make her look anything other than glossy. So no one is judging you. The person who is judging you is you. That's actually very good news, because if you are judging you, then you get to judge yourself better. Hey, I messed up. That made me real. I forgot something. Nobody cared. I pronounced a word incorrectly. It doesn't matter. So if you are fearful of being judged, which is really all that social anxiety is, remember, the people that like you don't care. And the only person in the world who has the power to judge you is you. And when you judge yourself really nicely and kindly, it becomes a game changer. After all, many of my clients who are supermodels, super gorgeous, super successful say, hey, I get trolled. People write horrible things about me. And I say, listen, don't read it. People write horrible things about me, but I tend to not read it. And if I see it, I go, well, that's an unhappy person. But I have a choice. Shall I let that in or say, what a sad person, I feel sorry for them? You have a choice. And this choice will change your life. And here's the choice. I'm not letting that in. My mother-in-law is super critical. One of my co-workers is really mean and critical. But I don't have to let it in. I can say that's an unhappy person, because here's the truth. Happy people praise a lot. Happy people want everyone to have the happiness they have, because praise boosts your self-esteem. People who criticize are usually very critical about themselves. Critical people always have the most criticism reserved for themselves, but they express it out. Look at you. Oh, that was terrible. Look at that person dressed like that. Oh, they messed that up. That was wrong. Praise boosts your self-esteem, and criticism can wither it. But the worst criticism in the world is your own, and the best praise in the world is your own. So if you want to overcome social anxiety forever, praise yourself a lot and criticize yourself almost never. I went out and I had the wrong shoes, and I did that once. I was going out and I put on my shoes, went out, and I realized they were 2 different feet. Nobody noticed, and if they had, I would have laughed about it, because it's how I feel about it that matters. It's the only thing that matters. The most important words you will ever hear in your entire life are the words you say to you. So when you see yourself meeting a friend, meeting lots of friends, meeting new friends, meeting old, meeting one person, meeting a group, keep saying, I love this, I like this. This is the easiest thing in the world for me. Connecting to people is so easy, and I do it easily because the way you feel about connecting is only ever going to be down to 2 things: the words you say to yourself and the pictures you make in your head. And when you make pictures of, oh, I might mess up, I might look wrong, I might come across as stupid, when the words are, what if I don't know what to say? I haven't been out for a year. I don't have anything to talk about. You see, you're not just making a picture, you are making a blueprint that your mind and body move towards. And you have to change that blueprint by saying, wow, everyone's in the same boat. We've all been at home. We're all so excited about going out, meeting. And I can talk to people, I can listen to people. And it might help you to know this: the common denominator of why we pick people that we like is that we pick people who are like us. And the basis of friendships is that we choose people who share our vulnerabilities. That is the basis of a friendship. I'm going to choose someone who has the same vulnerabilities that I have. But if I meet someone who's perfect or appears perfect, they haven't got any vulnerabilities. So how can I connect to them? We like people who are like us. So all you have to do to love being out and about again is put good pictures in your head. Today I'm going to hang out with people and connect. I'm going to hang out and have a picnic, a lunch, a dinner, a drink, a coffee. I'm going to catch up with friends. I'm going to listen to everything they have to say. And remember, you have 1 mouth and 2 ears. You're supposed to sometimes talk less and listen more. We love a good listener. You don't have to have an amazing life story to tell. And actually, people like people who are real. They don't want to hear about your trip to Peru. They want to hear about what's going on in your life. What did you watch on television? What's your favorite thing to eat? Because that's bonding. That's connecting. You live a life and you can bond and connect with anyone at any level when you make the pictures in your head of bonding and connecting and use language about bonding. I get on with anyone at any level. I love people so much. I find them interesting. I'm interested in people and they're interested in me. I get on with people. I find it so easy to talk to them. Once you decide to say that, that is now your blueprint. And here's a few handy hints. If you think, oh, I'm so nervous about talking to someone, if you do this with your arms, it's called havening, but if you just stroke your arms like that, quite hard, just down, not up, just down. And while you're stroking, say things like, I love people. It's the easiest thing in the world for me to connect with people. I know what to say. I'm a great listener. I'm great at conversation. I just like people. I get on with everybody. While you're stroking your arms, it has an incredibly relaxing effect on you. Stroking your face, we've all been told not to touch our face for the last year, but stroking your face like that, you have stress receptors here. And when you stroke your face, it's rather like crunching really crunchy food. It immediately starts to relax you. So in a social event, you don't have to stroke your face, but you can Actually, just do that when you're talking. Lots of geniuses do that anyway. The stroking of your face, especially your chin, or just a minute in the bathroom doing that will really relax you. Keep your shoulders down. When you speak to someone, imagine I'm speaking to the camera. The minute you do that or that, you're saying, I need to get away. So put your shoulders, knees and ankles directly facing the person that you want to speak to. Make eye contact, speak slowly. If they say something, take a minute and really digest what they've said and answer them. It makes people feel that you are deeply interested in them, whereas this kind of stuff says, oh, you want to get away from me. Keep your shoulders down, speak slowly. If your mouth goes dry with nerves, fill it up with saliva. I'm going to do it now. You would never know. When you fill up your mouth with saliva and swirl it around, it signals back to your mind, oh, you're super relaxed, you're so chilled. A dry mouth is a sign of anxiety. It's why people in court drink water all the time, because they're anxious. So if you're out, make sure you're drinking water or drinking something hydrating. But if you're not, just fill up your mouth with saliva. Even rubbing your hands together like that is incredibly relaxing. So if you're in a situation you think, oh, I'm super nervous, don't use that word. Change it to I'm super excited. Remember, your mind cannot tell the difference between nerves and excitement, fear and excitement. They almost feel the same. So say, I'm super excited. I'm so relaxed. I'm so chilled. I'm so happy. I'm so at ease. Rub your hands together. You can do it under the table. Nobody will know. Nobody really knows. Just I'm a bit cold. And you can do that with your arms. Nobody will know. Fill your mouth with saliva. Focus on the person, shoulders, knees, ankles, facing them. And all of these little tips and tricks, stroking your chin, stroking your face, will make you feel super chilled, super confident, and you will become and stay super sociable. Go ahead and click the link below to eradicate social anxiety, become and stay the very best confident version of you. Why do we give the power for how we feel about ourselves to someone else? Why do we say, was that okay? Do I look okay in this? Was I good enough? Was that okay? Do you approve of me? Do you believe in me? You see, when we're born, we must find connection. Finding connection is what life is all about, connecting to other people. And when we're little, we are dependent. We are dependent children. And we need to know that we're safe, that other people approve of us. We look at our parents, go, did I do okay? Is that good enough? Do you love me? And that makes sense because we're trying to find our place in the world. And we know that our survival is linked to the people we live with approving of us. The problem is that many of us never give this up. We go through life going, hey, do you approve of me? Am I okay? Do I look all right in this? What do you think? Was that good enough? And you have to understand a great truth. What other people think of you is none of your business. It only matters what you think of you. And here's the thing, if you could go through life making people like you, the very thing that makes one person like you will make someone else not like you. I was looking at the comments on one of my YouTube videos and someone went, oh, your voice, I love your voice. Your voice is so calming. I really like your voice. And someone else said, I can't stand her voice. I had to switch the whole thing off because that voice is so grating, so annoying, and so phony. So two people, one liked my voice, one hated my voice, but it doesn't matter. It only matters that I am cool with my voice. So the number one fear of being judged is really not a fear of being judged, it's a fear of being rejected. You might not like me. I could create something, a blog, write a book, give a talk, and you could reject me. I could go on a date and you could say, oh no, this is not working at all. And I can go home feeling absolutely crushed. One of my favorite stories is when Meryl Streep was auditioning for the love interest in King Kong, and the director said, Meryl, You're just not pretty enough for this part, and you'll never make it as an actress. And she said, you know what, that's your opinion. In a sea of opinions, I think I'll find a different opinion. When Naomi Campbell was told, you know, it's very hard for black girls to get on the cover of Vogue, that door is shut, she said, well, I'll kick it open. And I love that, because what they said very clearly is, you cannot judge me. I am judging me. I've decided I'm pretty, I'm interesting, I'm worthy. You see, if you can decide you are worthy, that judgment alone will change your entire life. Don't give someone else the power to reject you. Don't give someone else the power to make you feel bad. Some of the most successful people in the world were told, you'll never make it at school. You'll never be anything. The Oprah Winfreys, the Tony Robbins, the Adeles, the Eminems, the Ed Sheerans of the world were told, you're not going to make it. Or they had a life without a father or without money, and they were judged. But they bounced back because they decided, only I can judge me. I was told I'd never make it. I'd never amount to anything. I wasn't smart. I wasn't attractive. I was geeky and gawky. But I learned very early on that it doesn't matter what my teachers say. It matters what I say. And if you want to find out how our childhood has such an impact on this ability to judge ourselves so badly, go ahead and click the link and join my free I Am Enough Masterclass. And you'll see how you acquired this fear of judgment and how you can overcome it. So here's the truth. If you are judging you only have to do one thing. Judge yourself better. I can do this. This is my area of excellence. No one can tell me I'm not good enough. I remember years ago someone saying to me, I really don't like what you're wearing. I went, oh, I love it. I love this. I really liked it. So they couldn't tell me that. Someone told me once they didn't like my house, they didn't like my decoration, but I didn't care. Recently someone said to me, you know, the lobby of your house looks like a hotel reception. I know. I love that look. They went, oh no, I hate that. I like mess and I like make, do and mend. And it was very interesting. We have a different idea. I love the orchids on a table and they like mess and craft work. And I don't like that, but that doesn't matter. They told me my house looked like a hotel lobby. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I like that look. I know you don't. I do. They weren't judging me. They were expressing an opinion. That's their opinion. I have a different opinion. So please do not give someone the power to judge you badly. Don't walk through life going, what if you don't like me? What if you reject me? What if? Most people have been rejected. They've been dumped. They've been fired. They've been overlooked. Take a look at Shark Tank. Or in the UK, we call it Dragon's Den, where people have been laughed out of the studio and told that will never work. One Direction didn't win X Factor, but they became the most successful boy band in history. Robert Downey Jr. went to jail. So did Martha Stewart. They were judged. They had a criminal record. So did Jeffrey Archer, but they came back and said, you can't judge me. Because I am judging me, and I'm judging me as doing really well. I heard a story I love many years ago about a doctor who decided to run a marathon to raise money for his hospital. And he was out of shape. I mean, he was working 18-hour shifts. He wasn't going to the gym. And he came almost last. And when he went back to the hospital, another doctor went, oh, hey, I heard you came almost last. That's so bad. He went, almost last? Oh, no. I came first in my category. What's your category? A doctor running from this hospital to raise money for a scanner. I came first. And I love that. He decided he came first. You can decide you are first in your category. No one can judge you. Become first in your category of judging yourself well. Your best life is when you are free of rejection. Decision means decide to cut off from rejecting yourself. You see, it's easy to go out on a date and go, well, I've got cellulite, I'm a single parent, I don't have anything to offer, I'm not interested, I'm not tall enough. You see, if you believe that, other people pick that up. And if you say, hey, I'm a single parent, that's an asset. I have love in my life. I've got this great kid. I have love, and now I can have more love, and my kid is an asset. Anyone I meet is going to love me and love her too, because you get to choose. I promise you, I guarantee, if you stop judging yourself poorly and unfavorably and judge yourself better, you won't even care what other people think. They can think whatever they want to think, as long as you think good things about you. You won't hold back from this fear of judgment. You will fly, you'll soar, you'll live an amazing life knowing that what you think about you matters. And when your kid comes home from school and says, Mommy, my friend said I'm not nice. My friend said I'm stupid. My friend said I wear horrible clothes. You ask them, what do you think? Well, I think it's good. When my daughter was little, the most important thing in the whole world on her birthday was that I made her a cake. I went to the effort of making a cake, and I'd make her a jewelry box cake or a Barbie cake, but I had to make that cake because it mattered to her that I made it and I personalized it. And then I worked with the clients. You know, my mum never bought me a shop-bought cake on my birthday. She made cakes, and it was so embarrassing. I wanted to go out and buy me one like my friends. Well, isn't that interesting? My daughter, it mattered more that I made it, and this person, it mattered more that her mother didn't make it and actually bought it. One of my clients said my mum used to sew all my clothes, and I thought that was such a loving thing till I went to school and the mean girls went, oh, you wear homemade clothes. That's yucky, that's horrible. And she said, and I learned to feel bad that my mother was making me these things out of love. So you get to choose. Are you going to let someone judge you and diminish you? You see, people are not busy judging you. When you go to yoga, no one's looking at you going, oh, you can't do the tree, you can't do the downward dog. They're far too busy trying to do their own pose to judge you. And if they are judging you, people who spend all their time judging you badly don't like themselves, they feel inadequate, and they want you to feel inadequate too. And your choice is never to give anyone permission to make you feel bad about yourself. Bounce back. Check out my next video here. Anyone notice that as that day comes around, they're sick? Because here's how the mind works. You say, oh my God, I volunteered to chair that meeting. I must have been out of my mind. I'd die if I've got to go on stage. I don't want to do that. And your brain's like, leave that with me. Now next Wednesday,